Hi everybody, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the video out and the channel out, and you'll get more videos like this every day. Let's get started. Our first one comes from child abandonment. Am I the beehole for saying that I'll call social services if my sister-in-law keeps leaving her child at my place? I, a 30-year-old female, have a half-brother, Enzo, a 40-year-old male. We're not very close since we were both raised by our respective mothers, but he has always gone out of his way to help me with anything I've needed. Enzo married his wife, Steph, a 33-year-old female. 2 years ago, Steph has a daughter, Alice, 4, with her ex, but has sole custody, and Enzo and Steph have a 7-month-old son, Teddy. I also have a 3-year-old daughter. Enzo and Steph moved into the city I live in when Steph got pregnant, and since then, Steph developed a habit of showing up at my apartment building unannounced. It became a problem, and I talked to both her and Enzo about it, and she stopped, until she gave birth. Now, she regularly stops by unannounced to leave Alice at my building for babysitting. While she has to run errands or something, she's had her carpool drop Alice off at my apartment before. My poor housekeeper is a wonderful woman who has had to deal with Alice arriving unexpectedly. While I'm out and I feel terrible about it, I've told the concierge not to let her up and to say no one is in. But then, I'll arrive to Alice waiting in the lobby, which is not safe, and the concierge has told me I can't make them responsible for a child. Steph keeps saying she only does it when she's desperate, but I don't see how she can be that desperate to run errands at least twice a week, and frankly, I am not a nanny. If she's desperate, she needs to hire someone to help. I've spoken to Enzo, and he's always extremely apologetic, and says he will talk to her, and I believe he does, but he also works during the day and can't police where she's at all hours. I reached my breaking point a couple of days ago when I returned from lunch to find Alice at home. Having been dropped off since she had a half day at school, I apologized profusely to my housekeeper, who had spent time playing babysitter, and called Steph. No answer. I called her several times. And then Enzo, who was on a business trip and distraught over the situation. Steph eventually turned up a couple hours later, and I went ballistic. I said if she ever leaves Alice at my building again, I will call social services, and I will call them every single time she drops Alice off with me until they do something, because this is not my job and she's an irresponsible and neglectful parent. She burst out into tears and begged me to help out with Alice, but I said no and reminded her I never said yes in the first place. She just kept dumping her kid here. Steph kept trying to guilt trip me, but I was too exhausted and upset about the situation to be receptive, and eventually my husband had to tell her to leave. I feel bad because, as I said, Enzo has never been anything but the most accommodating person where I'm concerned. And maybe treating his wife like that was harsh, but at the same time, I chose to have one kid because I don't want another one. Steph can't use my house as a daycare. Was I too harsh? Hi, OP. I'm going to say no, you were not too harsh. She took advantage of you, and she kept taking advantage of you over and over, and she's putting you in a bad spot where you live, because, like the concierge said, you can't, leave her and let them babysit her. And just like it's not your job to babysit and raise her child, it's not your maid's job to babysit either. And it looks like you took all the necessary steps to handle the situation. You told her no, you told the husband no, which he's another person I feel bad for in this situation, because he sounds like a good guy, but he has to work and he can't watch his crazy wife. And it seems like the only way you were going to get through to her and get her to listen is to do something drastic. And yeah, child services is the most drastic way to do this. So I believe they left you no choice to handle the situation the way you did. And our next one comes from Excellent Card 3723. Am I the beehole for desperately ruining my housemate's romantic date with his boyfriend because they plan to use my bathroom? I, a 21-year-old female, live with my best friend, John, a 21-year-old male, in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom flat. I have the main bathroom, and John has the entire en-suite bathroom. My bathroom has a shower/tub combo, sink, and toilet, and John's bathroom has a shower, sink, and toilet. When we first moved in, I didn't have a preference about which room, so John took the bedroom with the ensuite. The issue is that recently, John has been using my bath without permission. Normally, I'm not super territorial about my space, but here's my issues. John is having baths that last 2+ hours. He moves my stuff around, shoves them into drawers, and puts my loofahs and flannels on the floor, which is just unhygienic. He doesn't clean up after himself. I'm not allowed to use his bathroom when he's occupying mine because he doesn't want me to go into his bedroom. I've brought these up to him, and he always says he won't use the bath anymore, but he always goes back to it. He claims his knees are acting up. He's been testing for arthritis a couple of weeks, and that the commute from work kills his joints. It's been like this for 2 months. Every time I get home from work, John is soaking in my tub, so I can't shower, pee, etc. It might seem like a small thing, but this is incredibly annoying. Fast forward to a couple of days ago, and his boyfriend, Sam, a 19-year-old male, is visiting. He seems pretty sound, and has always been nice to me. I go from the kitchen to my bedroom and see the bath has been turned on, so I turn it off. I go into my bedroom to grab my towels and clothes, and when I get back, Sam is in my bathroom, sitting on the toilet seat, watching the bath fill up. I ask him what he's doing, and he tells me him and John are planning on having a romantic bath together. I turn the bath off again and say, well, this is my bathroom and I need to shower, so get out. He stands in the doorway for a few minutes, texting John. I managed to push him out, and I had a nice, long, everything shower the entire time. John is texting me to hurry up because him and Sam had plans and I was ruining them. I responded and said, I'm in my bathroom. I have told you not to use my bathroom because you leave it in a state and you spend hours in there. When I get out of the bathroom, John and Sam are sitting on the sofa watching a movie. As I walk past them, John says, "Are you happy? You ruined our date night." And I just shrugged and got food. However, I guess John went and vented to our mutual friends who are split on who's right in the situation. But all the general consensus is I should have just sucked it up and let them use my bathroom for their date night. So, am I the beehole? No, you are not the beehole. That is your bathroom, and he's being rude going in there, moving around all your stuff and ruining the way you have it set up. I'm very territorial, and I have my stuff set up the way I like it. It looks chaotic, but I know where everything is. And also, you know what makes me angry about these stories is when you go to people and they're split. What do you mean? What do you mean you're split? How would you feel if someone came in your room, touched all your stuff, moved everything around, and makes it so you can't even go take a piss? I'm sorry, if that was me, I would have kicked open his door and used his toilet if he's hogging up my bathroom and I can't, void my bowels. Looking in the comments, I kind of agree with Overrice2524, not the beehole. It's your bathroom. Maybe you need to switch entire rooms with John. If you like your setup, I get a key lock to the bathroom door and tell him to deal with it because he's being rude. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Put a lock on your bathroom, or tell him to switch rooms because he obviously wants to use your bathroom more than his. And our next one comes from Immediate Warning 49-7. Am I the beehole for canceling my stepdaughter's Diwali celebration? I, a 39-year-old male, live in the USA, but I'm from India. I have 2 children, Prakat, a 11-year-old male, and Raya, a 12-year-old female, the latter of which is my stepdaughter. We were bursting crackers in the lawn of our bungalow during the event. There's an American kid in the next block who is an 11-year-old himself, Alex. He's autistic. As we celebrated, Alex was headed somewhere with his parents. He rushed over when he noticed the crackers and asked us what we were doing. Prakat explained to him while Raya remained silent. He asked the kids whether he can burst some crackers himself. Raya said, "Sorry, it's not for..." Okay, I'm gonna have to change that up a little bit. For, our words like you. His parents heard what she said and were shocked, including myself. I asked Raya to make an immediate apology, but she refused. She had only said the truth and that Alex would hurt himself since he's autistic. I was extremely embarrassed, and even my wife asked her to apologize once, but she refused. I apologized to the parents, who did not say anything as they walked away with Alex. I was livid and asked Raya to get back into her room, that she was grounded for a week, and canceled the party for her, and said she wasn't bursting crackers. She became hysterical, telling me that it was too much. But I did not bulge, and in the end, she was forced to remain in her room and was not allowed outside. I took Prakat to Alex's house later with some Diwali sweets and apologized again. And this time, they were a little bit more pleased about the apology. My wife says I went too far, and that although she should not have said that, my punishment for a week and no celebration for her ruined it for her, etc. Am I the beehole? No, you are not the beehole. You gave her an easy way out. All she had to do was apologize, and things probably would have gone a lot smoother. Probably not with Alex's parents, but with you, she might have still had, her party and got to enjoy that. But yeah, I thought the punishment was fitting for the crime. She has to realize what she did was really messed up, and you need to respond in kind so she learns to not do stuff like that in life. Personally, I think she got off easy. If it was me and my parents back in the day, I would have got the belt. And our final story comes from Salt Refrigerator 9775. Am I the beehole for refusing to make vegan mashed potatoes? So, I normally host Thanksgiving, but we do a potluck style. I do the turkey and homemade mashed potatoes for about 40 people. It's a lot. I normally wouldn't have mind, but my brother has since been putting off the nest, shows up empty-handed to every damn holiday. He doesn't even buy gifts for Christmas or anything because he's broke. That's fine, but it seems rude to me when everyone brings something, even if it's a bottle of soda or wine. He invited his girlfriend and basically demanded that I make part of the mashed potatoes vegan. Normally, I wouldn't care, but my brother doesn't do shite. So I told him if he wants a special dish for his girlfriend, he can make it. Our older, single brother literally does an amazing ham and Brussels sprouts dish. So it's not like my younger brother was taught that men can't cook, so I think he can manage a vegan mashed potatoes for one. My brother called me a bee and is threatening not to come to Thanksgiving now over this. And my mom feels like I should do a compromise. I said okay, and my brother can host it at his apartment with his 4 roommates because he wants to act entitled over mashed potatoes. My mom backtracked when she realized I will not be disrespected and host a meal that I've done for the last 5 years, but my brother still refuses to come. Hi OP, you are not the beehole. It sounds like your brother's the beehole, and you gave him an easy solution to this problem. Make the mashed potatoes himself. It's not hard. Surprisingly enough, while I'm not vegan and I don't eat too much vegan food, I have tried vegan chocolate chip cookies, and those are good. A little sandy, but I still ate them. They were good. And I have unfortunately tried vegan mashed potatoes. Now, maybe I made them wrong. Maybe they taste better if someone can do it better than me, which they probably can. But the one I tried to do used cauliflower, and that tasted horrible. It had a horrible texture, and the taste wasn't doing anything for me. I remember tried drowning it in salt to try to choke it down. That just made it worse. And you gave him solutions to his problem. Either he makes it himself, or he hosts it at his apartment. Oh, looking down in the comments, there is a compromise that did not cross my mind. Pomegranate says, compromise by asking your mom to do the vegan mashed potatoes. And OP says, that's the idea, to have her make vegan sides if she wants my brother invited. Yeah, there you go, problem solved. Alright everybody, and that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and can you please do what I said in the beginning, and like, comment, and subscribe. It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.